be shared.
Hello, please check.
Sir, good morning. Rita ma'am, good morning.
Madam, good morning.
Good morning, Sumit sir. अरे मेरा लैपटॉप ही नहीं खुल रहा.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning everyone, we are live on YouTube.
Good morning. Good morning, BC sir. Yeah, very good morning, Honorable BC sir.
Yeah. Very good morning to all of you.
Very good morning, sir. Sir, we'll be waiting for a few more minutes.
Sure.
All participants
Take
will
your own
join us.
time. Take your
Sir.
own time. It's a Sunday, so that being the case, I think we need to be a little bit more liberal.
Exactly, sir.
Okay,
Exactly.
please go ahead.
Sir.
वो तो बहुत बढ़िया है।
Honorable DC sir, with the kind permission, shall we start the program?
Yeah, if most of them have joined, then I think we should go ahead,
Yes, yes.
So just watch out, I think there seem to be some voice problem, some sound, this thing. Take care, I think,
सुब्रतो सर, आपके अगल बगल कोई और भी हैं सर, उनको उनका माइक ऑफ करवा दीजिए सर।
जी सर। हम जहां से पढ़कर निकले हैं, तुम वहां अब पढ़ने जाते हो। जाने अनजाने में हम जहां से पढ़कर निकले हैं, तुम वहां अब पढ़ने जाते हो। जाने अनजाने में अपनी हरकतों से वो गुजरा जमाना याद दिलाते हो। समय का चक्र हमें आगे जरूर धकेल दिया, पर अनुस्मरण के चलते एक बार फिर कैंपस से बहुत करीब आते हो। At this auspicious moment, I remember the words of N.R. Narayan Murthy ji. Nobody is bothered about an institution more than its alumni. The success of any institution can be measured by the contribution of the alumni to make our national life. Professor O.R.S. Rao, Honorable Vice Chancellor, ICFA University, Jharkhand. Professor Arvind Kumar, Registrar, Dr. Bhagwat Pari, Assistant Dean, Dr. Runna Bhattacharya, Dr. Susan, our mentors in research, Dr. Shubhit Chakrapadhyay sir, Dr. Hariharan sir, Dr. Satyendra Kishore sir, all heads of department, all my dear colleagues, And above all, the most precious jewels, our alumni of ICFA University, Jharkhand. On behalf of ICFA University, Jharkhand, with great honor and pleasure, I, Dr. Subrata Dey, welcome you all to the auspicious occasion of Alumni Meet Anusmaran. Shri Vakratunda Mahakaya, Suryakoti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurma Deva, Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada. और अब हम अनुरोध करते हैं हमारे तकनीकी विभाग को, कृपया वो वीडियो शेयर करें, दीप प्रज्वलन कर।
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपः ज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपः ज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः।
शुक्रिया, शुक्रिया मजी। Now, may I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor O.R.S. Rao sir, to address the gathering. Sir, over to you.
Professor Arvind Kumar, Registrar of the University, Dr. Barik, Assistant Dean, Dr. Preeta Chaturvedi, and Dr. Vijay Ganguly, who have been the prime force behind organizing this entire meet, all other faculty members, and all the alumni. A very good Sunday morning to all of you. And a hearty welcome. Welcome back to your alma mater, your university. Thank you all very much, for taking some time to join us in today morning and so alumni meet. Anusmaran. So keep on, just like God, we keep on smaran, we keep on sort of remembering and chanting to that. So you have been part and parcel of the university, and you're part of our family. You have been, you are, you continue to be part of the family. Just like our own parents, and we keep on, doing this smaran of the parents, So whether in this world or some other world, similarly, your alma mater, the mother that has given you the education and your career, I think it's always good to keep on doing the anusmaran, of your alma mater. So our team has coined a very nice word, for today's, meeting. We had our last formal meeting on 18th of November. That's about, 7 months back. So we had that meeting that time, after a gap of nearly 2 years, we had it, in person, face to face. Though at that point of time, a number of our alumni also joined virtually. That's the beginning of a new world. Earlier, a meeting means, it used to be only face-to-face meeting. So the COVID has taught us, new ways of thinking and new ways of, working and living. So the blended way of, kind of get together, that is something, we have learned through the COVID times. And with its own benefits, we continue doing it. So on the 18th of November, we had both, physically and virtually. And this time, yes, we are doing it virtually. It has its own advantages. With the result, today, we are able to see a lot of our alumni that are in various locations. I can see it from myself, our alumni, far and wide, sort of from the northern part, eastern part, southern part, western part, middle part, all the parts that I can see. So though we are meeting formally sort of after nearly 7 months, our team that is Dr. Prita Chaturvedi, Dr. Ramna Bhattacharya, Dr. Vijaya Ganguly, and a lot of our faculty members, they have been in touch with you. And you are all our children. Being the children, we want to know where you are and what you are doing. And I was really delighted when I have been noticing that, a number of our alumni, they made a lot of progress in terms of the professional life, in terms of, I could see sort of somebody said, I have joined a new company with a 300% salary jump. So I was the happiest man to see that, just as my own son gets a sort of a salary jump like that. And some of you have, moved, from smaller companies to bigger companies. You have changed the roles. And I could see that, sort of some of them you also have, from kind of, private kind of companies to government. And some of you have moved, from in the higher education have moved into that. And from there you have made a very good progress. And we could see that, as per the kind of alumni that we could track so far, our team could track roughly about 800 plus alumni so far. Out of them, we noticed that, 5 of our alumni are abroad. They are all, in very good companies. And of course, Dr. Ramni Singh, he's a very, very senior person in Google. He used to be in Microsoft and has done PhD with us. Then after that, he moved to the Amazon Web Services. So now he's a corporate manager. He is a global manager that can take care of the partnerships, in Google. Similarly, we have got, our, alumni in various parts of US, Canada, Europe, and including, Australia. And we noticed that, yes, considering that, most of our students, they come from, Bihar and Jharkhand, we noticed that 2/3 of our faculty members that we tracked, they continue to be in Jharkhand, and about 10% in Bihar. The rest of them spread across the country in various, states. And we also noticed that 50% of our alumni, they are in corporates, into very reputed companies, be it in IT or to manufacturing and various companies that are there. And about 29% of them, they have done undergraduate in the university. They moved on to do higher education. I was so impressed. Most of them, they have gone to very premier institutions. They have gone to IIMs, they have gone to IITs, they have gone to NITs, they have gone to kind of the Foundry Forge Technology, NITF to that, NIFT to that. And it is going on. In fact, last week only we got to know that one of our mining students got selected in GATE and he's joining, possibly in ISM Dhanbad. And after that, then we noticed that, yes, some of them have moved to a corporate career into some very big companies. And a very redeeming and very, very impressive thing, particularly with our alumni. I'm at the boards of various, ICFA universities. We keep seeing these students and their career profiles and career trajectories. In our case, we have seen consistently every year after year, at least about 10% of our alumni, they become, entrepreneurs. In the total kind of a base, whatever we have tracked about 800 plus, there we noticed, something like about 13% of them, they are into their own business. And small companies, big companies, education, construction, projects. And some of them, they have a passion for, various other kinds of avenues. Something like, the acting, singing, and also into things like, a weightlifting kind of a thing. Of course, that may not be a career, but they made a mark. The one thing common across what I notice is, all of our alumni, they are making us, proud. Professional excellence, we have been seeing with a number of them. A number of them, they have received, kind of, excellence in the states. excellence in the kind of a country, in kind of areas like the weightlifting, in the national weightlifting into that, or in terms of with regard to modeling, fashion modeling. Ritu Puri, she was doing it and she continued doing. So that way, when you go for formal education, it doesn't mean that nobody's forcing anybody to go for a corporate job or some job. Yes, you should do what you like, and finally, you should love what you are doing. I think that is something that we saw the evidence with our own alumni. Nobody has been forcing them, to go into something like, become a cog in the wheel. Not only that, and today's alumni, because last time we have seen, now we are seeing more and more. I'm seeing, our PhD alumni. I think that is also growing, because PhD is the kind of, the highest program what we kind of offer. There we are seeing, more and more alumni joining, so not only joining the ranks, but also joining our meetings. I'm also seeing the MBA WP kind of the alumni join. And last year, for the first time, our LLB first batch I passed out. There also I see some of them joining. And these are the sort of new programs from which, the alumni that are joining. So now you see that, as far as the alumni are concerned, you can see a lot of diversity in terms of, locations, in terms of the programs, in terms of the kind of a careers are what they set out to be, and also the diversity with regard to the age groups, starting with early 20s going up to sort of the 50s and 60s. This diversity will lend itself, for lots of benefits for our own alumni, because you can stand to kind of, through networking, you can learn and you can benefit in a number of ways through this kind of alumni and networking into that. And all of our alumni, they have been, most of them, they have been helping the university, their alma mater, in terms of the guest lectures. Some of them, they're coming and sharing their experiences. I've been mentioning about the entrepreneurs. So a few months back, our entrepreneurs, the alumni entrepreneurs, they came and shared with our own students their own kind of learnings and life learnings with regard to entrepreneurship, what makes it take, and sort of what is that we should do. We were really elated to get to know from our own entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurial lessons. As a university, we teach from the books and we teach knowledge. That's where we are learning their, experiential kind of, learning, what they have been into that. And similarly, a lot of our alumni, they are coming and taking, other guest lectures. They are helping our students with regard to internships and placements. Talking of the placements, I was really elated to see that, our own alumni, today, some of them are becoming recruiters. When they were with us, they used to be sitting on the side of the students, being the kind of the recruitees. Now, some of them we see occupying the role of a recruiter, coming and recruiting our own students. Sort of as a parent, nothing is, sort of a more kind of a lovely and more kind of, touching than this kind of a things, what we have been saying.
बहुत पका रहा है.
Yeah. And we are all thankful to all the alumni remembering us and doing a lot of things, kind of helping your own alma mater into that. And from the university side, in the last 7 months since we met, just a few updates. Sort of one is, like in terms of the quality of education, we have been putting lots of, effort into that. And we are also putting in lots of efforts in the research. Because education, of course, education can be done by even a college. But the hallmark of a university, the quality research. That's an area where the university has been doing a lot of work. And that's something that is bringing us laurels, not only through our PhD program, that is our, the program that is considered to be one of the best in the country, that is the PhD kind of working professionals. So there, we've noticed that, the quality and profile of the kind of people that are joining the program is going up by leaps and bounds. And there, now the quality standards of the kind of program is very well established. People know that, a PhD from ICFA University, Jharkhand, it's one of the best in the country. So much so that, we see for our PhD program, Sometimes we find, sort of people applying second time, third time. Somebody could not get selected in the previous round, either because of the test or this thing and to that. This kind of a thing, let me tell you, is unknown in most of the other, particularly private universities. That shows that sort of people are coming by selection. It's not that, they are out of choice into that. So that is the kind of our research output has been significantly going up. The quality publications, from our faculty members, and also our PhD scholars, and also PhD alumni. Like, in fact, I can see Dr. Akin Chen Buddhadev Sinha. In fact, not a week passes, when he sends a mail saying that, my article got published here, I got this accolades into that, I got promoted to that. And, sort of these are certain things, we are really proud of regarding, our alumni. And true to that, now we are getting into various rankings. Maybe something like 5 years back, it was unheard of. It used to be embarrassing for us even to apply for rankings. But we started applying for various rankings, in the last about 2 to 3 years. And we are seeing that, even year after year, we are seeing, a dramatic improvement in the rankings, what we are getting. Normally, it's not easy at all. Normally, you see that kind of a improvement happens, in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years into that. Whereas we are seeing a very good improvement. And, all of you as alumni, you'll be very happy to know that, we have been participating in the higher education kind of, that is sort of a setup by the Times Group, in the kind of UK. We have been participating in that. In the PHE, in the impact rankings, we are participating. And last year and this year, believe it or not, we are considered to be among the sort of, top few universities in India with regard to the quality of education. If I tell the number, sometimes, you may think that, oh, I'm overstating certain thing into that, So they said that you are among these sort of, top, something like, 10 to 15 kind of universities as far the quality of education and the impact what we are making on the education is concerned. And this year, the education world, they have ranked us sort of number 1 in Jharkhand. Last year it was number 2. And within the country, last year we were, past 50. We were at 63. This time we are 35. Similarly, Courage 360, they have kind of, upped our ranking, both for our MBA program and also for the BTech program. And IIRF, there again, we are ranked among this sort of the top, something like, 60 universities. They have ranked as 55 in the entire country. These accolades, sort of, they belong to all of you. You are the people that made it happen. Because, but for all of our alumni, it could not have happened. We can't do it, just one day we can't manufacture this into that. This entire thing has happened because of you. And apart from the kind of these two initiatives, quality of education, and also with regard to the quality of research, and ultimately the output, one output is what I mentioned with regard to ranking. Another output is as far as most of our programs are professional programs. So this being the case, the placement of our students. The placement of our students over a period of years, it has improved very dramatically. And this year, again, among the eligible people, the placement percentage is 90% plus. And in MBA, it is 100%. Nowadays, of course, we can't brag about the percentages. Sort of now, another measure what we are bringing is, sort of one time-tested measure, which most of them sort of, track is the CTC. CTC, of course, our CTC levels has gone to something like about 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs a year. And yes, we need to improve from there further on into that. But a more important thing, what we are looking at is the profile of the recruiters and profile of the companies. We are setting up some kind of a profiling of ABC. A could be some local companies, B could be something like the listed companies, and the C category could be maybe possibly CBA will put, and the A category will be the ones which are multinational companies. I'm happy to inform you that our students are getting selected by the multinational companies. Of course, I don't say that Indian companies are any less, but that again, it shows sort of something that, we're able to compete very well and get into that, sort of a companies like, a Capgemini, or now students bought into kind of companies like Pricewaterhouse, Ernst and Young, and sort of some of them, we are really proud of that. Another angle where the kind of our universities, making inroads is with regard to the social outreach. We are part of the society. So apart from giving quality education, we need to do something for the upliftment of the society itself. This is an area where prior to kind of COVID, we were doing certain things. The COVID has accelerated that. At that point of time, we launched several schemes to bring up the quality of life, of the people, in the neighboring villages. We have through UBA, we have, sort of 5 villages, we have adopted. And these villages, during the COVID times, sort of something like, most important thing is food and health. Those areas, the universities, faculty members and students, we did a lot of work. And you must have been seeing in the Facebook and various places into that, where something like, Bhojan Patra scheme, we have distributed food kits to the kind of people, at that point of time. And then, something like, we set up a lot of health camps at that point of time, giving them some free medication, free advice, through doctors we have taken them. And likewise, during the winter, something like winter clothing and blankets and that kind of a thing we have done. And now, sort of, we have taken a new initiative called the Vidyadan, because considering we are a university, because that is something, we can't donate so much of money, let me tell you. But what we can kind of give is Vidya. The Vidya Dan today we are giving to the students that come to the universities. We want to give the education, we want to do the Vidya Dan to the kind of, the village students. They are not coming to us, we are going to them. And these students, in the neighboring villages, so all of them that study in the kind of a government schools. I don't want to say that government schools are not good, but they have problems and issues in terms of, getting good quality education. So we are sort of setting up, the remedial kind of classes. Earlier we used to do it, like our faculty used to go to the village and do that. And now what we want to do is we want to make it as a regular scheme. And starting with early July, like in fact, they will come to our campus after our, regular, student hours are over. Maybe starting around 4:30 or so they come. And every day there'll be classes for at least about an hour. We'll be conducting these classes, the remedial classes in mathematics and physics to start with. These are the fairly difficult subjects, particularly for the students we are targeting at this point of time is class 8 to class 10. And also we want to kind of, various panchayat kind of schools, we are donating textbooks. And to the students, a lot of them can't afford to buy, the kind of, the various kind of writing kind of stationery. So we are giving them free these things from various stationery. And also, sort of for them, we also want to do something like, out of the 5 days, sort of a 2 days mathematics, 2 days physics, and 1 day it is going to be on IT skills. We want to leverage our IT labs to build some IT skills in the students, so that what we are doing is not only we are improving the quality of their education standards, but also building skills that are needed not only for today, but also for tomorrow, day after. And we also want to build a character building by way of soft skills. In a very small way, this is something what we want to do to uplift the kind of the lives of the people that are next to us into that. In fact, on 21st, we had the International, Yoga Day. That time, onwards, we have set up, a youth summer camp in our university. For the first time, we were doing it. So 32 students, from various grades, they have come. And for them, we have given them the yoga practice we have given through a kind of an experienced, qualified, faculty. And we had very, very interesting, very fun activities, in terms of the general knowledge, IT skills, singing, dancing, a lot of that. And the day before yesterday, we had the valedictory. That time, the chief guest we got, was not something a big dignitary. We brought the village mukhya. The lady, she's sort of close to the kind of village into the hearts of the people, and the parents that have come, they were really delighted. They are so happy that the university is helping them in a lot of ways into that, because sort of they are all close to our heart, because we are also getting closer to their hearts. I think because it's part of the ambience and part of the environment where we are working together into that. Now moving forward, sort of how do we move forward into that? The first thing is it's important that yes, we need to interact more closely, because once in a while I think while that is fine, I think thanks to the technology now we can interact a lot more. And so far, sometimes it has been more of in terms of a push mechanism through our own faculty members sending mails. Please do this. Please send me where you are, or please Google form. Please fill up and send it. And yes, it has to become something like a pull mechanism that has to come from you. All of you are aware that we have got a Google group, that is the IUG Alumni Google group. I hope that you are receiving, some mails. In case any of the alumni are not receiving, put in the chat box. Maybe, put your email address, and we'll definitely immediately include you in that. Sort of that one communication that we have, channel that we have, that is for a two-way communication, not simply from the university to tell you what is happening. Because in that we post messages like, any seminars happening, any guest lectures happening, events that are happening, inviting you. Please share with us what is happening from your own side and how you can sort of contribute. That is what I think we need from you. Similarly, we have got the various social media handles that are there. We have got Facebook is there, we have got Instagram is there, we have got LinkedIn that is there. And we request all of you to actively participate. You are part of our family, because we love to hear from you. And that is something that will also help you. Particularly if you see the LinkedIn group, there we have got a lot of corporates that are part of that, because the LinkedIn group, that is with, there we are networking with all our recruiters also, recruiting company. I think that is something that can sort of really help you a lot. And at another kind of a formal channel we are trying to bring, sort of today's meeting, we are, we're putting a formal alumni newsletter. And for the last, I think, few weeks we've been working on, and our team, and all of you put in lots of efforts to bring it a good shape. And it's called Alum Nest, because this network that we have, it's a close-knit group. It is just like a nest. In a nest, sort of what happens, a bird, a lady bird, puts a nest, a strong nest, and all the children that put into that. But of course, it's a different thing in the case of the bird nest. And when once, the kind of a children, the small birds, they get the wings, they run away. But we don't want that, because you continue to be part of that. So we are building a nest, kind of big enough and large enough for all of you to coexist. So that if you are there together, I think, it will help you, it will help all of us into that. We take pride in that. That's how we are building this Alum Nest. And the first kind of issue of the Alum Nest, sort of today is being released. I appreciate the kind of hard work and day and night work that is done by our committed and dedicated faculty members, sort of particularly Dr. Prita Chaturvedi, Dr. Vijay Ganguly, Dr. Pallavi. A lot of our faculty members, they work very hard to make that happen. And similarly, the credit goes to all of you also. All of you have contributed. In fact, when once you open that, you find, something like you see some, what you call, some pictures, paintings. Not only that, you see the poem from, Dr. Akinchan Buddhadev Sinha. Sort of, he's very fond of writing poems, and one of his poems also, it finds a place into that. And this is a newsletter for you and by you. It is yours. We are there only to facilitate that. Please own that. And in order to build this kind of accountability and ownership, we have been thinking for quite some time on how to continue this. It can't be that only once in a while meeting like this. So what we are saying is, we have kind of, I think Dr. Pritaji and all of them, they contacted you. We have constituted an alumni committee. There we are giving a fairly good representation to various the programs and various the batches. And yes, we expect them to be the kind of the active catalysts. All of you must participate. I think we expect them to be the catalysts so that they can catalyze action from the various the batchmates or classmates or group mates into that. And the next meeting earlier, in fact, 2021 calendar year, we had 2 meetings. One was in Feb 2021, that was through this kind of virtual meet. November we had, it was a physical meet. And this year, I proposed that we make it as a quarterly. Let us just see. I think the first one we're having now, and we are left with another only 6 months. And we also have taken a survey among all our alumni, and then how you can contribute and how we can work together. And there, they suggested that yes, we can have a picnic. Possibly, I think we can think of having a picnic. Could be sometime the early October. We'll just see the kind of possibilities of that. How many can join. If you can't join, we can also join virtually also in the picnic. So, and from your side, definitely, I think we would love to have a continued kind of contribution from you in terms of helping our students. Apart from something like the industry corporate kind of networking and also guest lectures, the industry visits, SIP and placement, we also want to take your help on how to improve our own academics, because you are occupying very senior roles and you have been parts of our own university. What are the new programs you think we should set up, and how do we improve and update or upgrade our curriculum? This is where what we are doing is we're in the process of setting up some kind of an academic advisory committees, and there it will be discipline wise. We'll have IT, we'll have something like some of the various the engineering and the management and law, various areas into that. There we would we will send you our current programs, program structures and curricula. We'd love to hear from you what are the improvements we should do and what are the new programs that can be done. And that's a help what we need from you. In the next few days, you can expect to hear from us, to send something. Then, yes, apart from networking itself can help the alumni. Apart from that, we are also looking at what are the areas in which maybe possibly the university can help, the alma mater can help all of our alumni in their own kind of career path. And sort of certain areas where we have asked in the Google form also, like on how we can upskill yourself. That's where today, in fact, the university has got programs for the working professionals. Sort of a one program, of course, if you are based in Ranchi, you can join. If you are a kind of undergraduate, you can do MBA WP, or maybe if you are a postgraduate, wherever you are, you can do PhD with us. In fact, we are seeing that increasingly some of the IBS alumni, they are joining us. And sir, why not you? In fact, as a matter of fact, like Dr. Rakenchan himself is a ICFA alumni. So that way, at the IUJ alumni, you can come and sort of do PhD with us. And similarly, like if you can't do a kind of a full-time program, maybe sort of we have started conducting online certificate programs. And these certificate programs will continue. Please give us some suggestions in what areas you want. Recently, when I have taken feedback, 2 areas we got some inputs for. One was in the digital marketing. A lot of our alumni want us to conduct a program. And we started a program on digital transformation, the foundation program. We are going to take it forward. And we are also thinking of, kind of conducting an online program on a cyber security. Like a cyber security for managers. We are not looking at, maybe there could be a program which is a technology-based program for the cyber security. We are also looking for, a program for the cyber security for the managers. Some of these things, we are discussing with some people, the best of the kind of experts in the kind of a country, and we are trying to work out into that. These are certain things you can participate. In a small, maybe you can give a small token, kind of a discount to all of our alumni. Recognition of the fact that you are an alumni into that. Sort of that is something sort of definitely we can work with you. And possibly like, in fact, you are at a mid-career. At mid-career, like, in fact, some of you may like to have some kind of, a kind of, career, sharing of the experiences by the kind of, your alumni. Normally sharing this, your current organization may be difficult. There could be sensitivities. They may not share certain things. But whereas alumni, you've got a certain common things and umbilical cord, you've got part of the same family. So certain experience sharing with regard to your own careers, we can have some sessions into that. And possibly if that's of some help, we could also think of something like a portal for posting of jobs, for letter placements, if that's of interest to you. Maybe there what we could do is, while talking to some of the recruiters, sometimes they ask us, do you have some people with experience? So today we don't have a structured mechanism. If that's of some interest to you, what we could do is we can set up a portal, or we can set up an exchange whereby, like, our role is going to be to bring you and the kind of company together. Not only that, some of our own alumni, they are recruiting. So maybe they can post them there and say that my company, I'm looking for this kind of people with not only freshers, but also some people with experience. So this is something, if that's of some interest to you, maybe we could start. So these are a few ideas from outside as far as the career growth perspective is concerned. Third area where together what we can do is for the society. We have been talking of some schemes, for their kind of a rural uplift in our neighboring villages. And that is an area where definitely I think we can work together. Maybe either we can do it in person or through your advice, or kind of, through kind of virtually, in whatever way, I think, we can do certain things to that, sort of to upliftment of the kind of a society. So that's another area where if you've got some thoughts, we love to kind of hear from you so that we can take it forward. The LUJ, alumni is a very strong force, a strong cohesive force. And this force can work with the IUJ. And together we can do wonders, let me tell you. For each other, you can build our university into much kind of more reputed university, more adorable kind of university. We can do that. Similarly, we can help you to grow in your career, kind of fast forward. We can do that. We are there with you. Number 3, together, both of us can make a difference and will make a difference. Will make a difference to the society, in the upliftment of the society. I think ultimately, I think all of us, we take pride and satisfaction in that. In fact, like Shobit is there, like some of our own students during the COVID times, they have reached out and they did wonders to the society, Those days, risking their own kind of health, a lot of them, they have reached out and did a lot of work into that. And yes, I think, we can continue doing that kind of a work. So the only one word I want to remind you is, please continue networking, and continue networking in a bigger way. Let me say that we are really proud of our alumni. I'm sure that you are also kind of proud of your alma mater. Some of it is very likely for post-graduation have gone somewhere else. But all the same, that you have done, certain foundation degree courses with us. And for some of you, you got your early career. Maybe you might have liked it, you might not have liked it at that point of time. But the university has given you, the alma mater, the mother has given you some career to you. I'm sure that kind of, you will remember that, and that attachment, that bond is something about forever. Apart from having a bond, apart from feeling a bond, you have to express the bond. The way of expression today is, through social media. Please post on the kind of Facebook, in the reviews, sort of your own updates and your achievements there. And please post into Instagram, please post into the LinkedIn. And that is something that can sort of, not only you, our existing students, the entire world will know that yes, these are the IUD alumni, this is what they are doing. And definitely, like, we are proud of your achievements. And we will possibly in the next few days, we will give a shape to the recognition. Because, time was a little bit short. So otherwise, like, we are very keen because while some of you got recognized by various associations, your own companies, for your own contributions, the university also wants to kind of, recognize you by giving awards, a distinguished alumnus award, something like a kind of a star alumni awards into that. These things, yes, sort of it is taking shape. And, our team, by now they would have put it on this thing in the chat. Sort of give a link so that, please nominate more people, excepting yourself, because nomination cannot be for myself. You have to nominate others and put across. Then definitely we'll sort of go through a structured process, and we do that, and coming few days into that. So thank you all very much for listening to me so patiently, and I wish all of you all the best in your careers and your personal life. And we have been seeing that, a number of you sort of, you have kind of rung the wedding bells. We wish all of you very, very happy marriages. And some of you blessed with sort of small children. We wish all of your families, all the best. All the best to all of you. Over to Dr. Soprato.
Thank you so much. Such energizing, such motivating words, and these words definitely work well. And at the same time, we'll move to the next category of today's event. Memories are really embedded in our soul, and memories are really, one cannot forget the canteen, one cannot forget the classroom teaching, one cannot forget the student friendship in the campus. With this, we will start with a video of fond memories of our alumni. So I request our technical team.
यादों के पुराने एल्बम में छुपा के रखे हैं हमने वो दिन, गुल्लक में पड़ी चवन्नी सी बचा के रखे हैं हमने वो दिन। ना किसी मंजिल की फिक्र थी, जिंदगी जीने की उम्र थी, दोस्ती और दोस्तों से उधार के दिन थे, वो दिन भी क्या 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 दिन थे।
Thank you, technical team. Time passes away, but the memories are embedded in our soul. We cannot forget the old days. Now, the next category, we'll move to the song, a video song, जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, from Payal Chaudhary, BA Journalism, 1922 batch.
बिगड़ जाए जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा ओ हमनवा, न कोई है न कोई था जिंदगी में तुम्हारे सिवा, तुम देना साथ मेरा ओ हमनवा, तुम देना साथ मेरा ओ हमनवा। हो चांदनी जब तक रात देता है हर कोई साथ, तुम मगर अंधेरों में ना छोड़ना मेरा हाथ। हो चांदनी जब से उठा के यारा तेरी यारी को मैंने तो खुदा माना, याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना, यारा तेरी यारी को मैंने तो खुदा माना, याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना। तू जो रूठा तो कौन हंसेगा, तू जो छूटा तो कौन रहेगा, तू चुप है तो ये
Thank you. So, Payal Chaudhary from BA Journalism, 1922 batch. Such a touching song, really. Yes, Payal, we are and we will be always with you. That we promise. With this, we will move to the next category. Is we will listen from our galaxy of alumni. Now, galaxy of alumni from PhD section. May I request Dr. Akin Chand Udadev Sinha, Deputy Director, the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Sir, please unmute yourself, switch on your video, and experience sharing session will start. Sir, over to you, Dr. Akin Chand Udadev Sinha.
Thank you, Subrata sir. A very good morning to Honorable Vice Chancellor, IFA University Jharkhand, O.S. Rao sir, Honorable Registrar sir, revered faculty members of IFA University Jharkhand, other team members of IFA University Jharkhand, past and the current ignited minds, that is students of IFA University Jharkhand, and everybody who have associated with our city, directly or indirectly. First of all, I convey my deepest gratitude for giving me the invitation to join this magnificent program of Alumni Meet. And whatever Varasasa said just now, it's really encouraging. And one thing we can understand that our varsity is on a very progressive approach. Sir, I think very soon we will also see postdoctoral program in our ICFA in Jharkhand. Like now we have PhD program. We may start with postdoctoral program also in the years ahead. I think that will give a create a brand value for our university. Apart from this, as mentioned, certification courses that are very helpful. And keeping in mind the states of Jharkhand and adjoining states like Bihar, West Bengal, we may think over to start up some 6-month or short-term course on startup management, because MSME sector, after the COVID, government has revised some capital requirements, the investment plant and machinery. I'm not because they have made an amendment in the MSME Act 2006. What was the previous requirement of the investment plant and machinery? Now, micro, small, medium enterprise, the categorization has changed. I have one paper also which is published in Jharkhand Journal in this regard. So I'm not able to just recall the exact statistics, but it is very encouraging. So maybe the students who want to become an entrepreneur after doing MBA or after doing any post-graduation program, professional program, we can train them on the impart education in the startup. Not only students, even who are doing small scale enterprises or running in Ranchi or adjoining areas, for them also this course can be a very helpful to give them a scientific approach of doing the management, because quite often the entrepreneurs may not know how to do working capital management. What are the long-term source of finance, which is the effective way of raising long-term finance? Then how to manage the human resource, how to make them conversant with the various government schemes which are available in the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, because Prime Minister Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has, under his government, many schemes have come to foster the industrial growth in India. And I think the eastern part has a lot of resources. We have natural resources. I myself hail from West Bengal, so we have natural resources. We have human resources. Everything is there. Only thing is the proper utilization. And for its proper utilization, I think we need some proper training, proper education in the startup management. A course can be devised, and what can be covered in that course structure that can be deliberated upon. apart from this, we are seeing that we can also think of improvising our sir, I just want to know whether MA Economics is covered right now in our course structure. And if I say Jharkhand, MA Economics is there, sir. I think if
Yeah,
we
no,
can start.
economics is there right now. In fact, in
Okay,
all of
sir.
our programs,
Yes.
there is a foundation course on economics, including for the
Oh,
undergraduate programs. Yeah.
okay. So there also, what we have to see now, we have to map our courses with the industry requirements, industry analysis. So we, in that case, we do a sectoral analysis that which are say, sunrise sectors, and in the sunrise sector, how much growth has happened and where our students can be placed in the years to come accordingly, and what hierarchies they can be placed. I think there's some one research work is needed, analysis is needed, and forecasting can also be done that how much jobs will be created in that regard. Next, I really eulogize sir's effort, sir's idea to launch that ICFI Nest, create alumni net, maintain that alumni network, that relation, that is very important because it is I still remember in my first job, which I started in St. Aloysius College, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh, one of the NAC A plus college now in MP. So there the principal, the then principal of the college, Dr. Father Davis George, used to say, within inside we should have collaboration, outside there is competition. So if we collaborate our ideas, our thoughts, our views, our approaches, I think definitely there will be synergistic effect. And in this regard, ICFI Nest is a wonderful, will be a wonderful initiative. And we alumni, sir, we assure you in whatever way we can assist, we are there with the varsity, we are there with the university. We will definitely give our best in this regard for the upliftment of the academics, research, placements, as well as the holistic development of the university. And so many projects, what sir mentioned, they are in the now pipeline. So we hope that they will materialize. They will witness, definitely witness the light of the day, and bring lot of laurels and success for the university in the years ahead, which will benefit our students, because in the Economics Jharkhand has become big brand because now we are cutting world rankings also. I saw recently, that's very makes us very happy, makes us very proud that our university is getting noticed in the world ranking, in the world rankings. We are globally getting recognized. So both the concepts, like we study global and local, so we can see both the facets our university is covering, and there's ample opportunity. And we may also think how we can upgrade our PhD program. Means PhD program, there is obviously certain structure, but when it comes to the journey of the thesis, the journey of the work, what further advancements we can take so that our thesis, our students, like for example, I have done a PhD, whether my thesis is getting referred by the stakeholders of the society, whether it's industry, whether it's government, whether it's regulatory bodies, whether it's the researchers of other institutions, credit rating agencies. So we have to showcase our research work. I think in this case, like in Jharkhand, we have Jharkhand Chamber of Commerce and Industry, one organization. The FICIs may be one of it. So somewhere we can showcase our research work. They may also refer. The people may come to the library of Economics Jharkhand. They may refer our research work if they find something better from all the PhD alumni so far work we have done, and still the work is going on. I think that will give a brand value. That is one my suggestion. So overall, one thing is that there's optimism in the atmosphere, and our university is definitely going to scale astral heights. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Akinchan Buddhadev Sinha. Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful words and suggestions. And definitely we will go like together for the upliftment of the university. Such a nice suggestion you have given. And there are a lot of schemes, lot of things got to know from you. Thank you so much for your valuable address. Now, coming to the next, our alumni, one star from the galaxy, is Dr. Amir Hussain, School of Management, Presidency University, Bangalore. Dr. Amir Hussain.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you're very much audible.
Okay.
Please.
Thank you very much. It's an honor that you have invited me to just share the experience with ICFA University, Jharkhand. So it was actually a wonderful experience. In fact, the journey started for me during 2014, and on almost 2018, we got this PhD awarded by the university. Thanks to Runma ma'am and Swain sir and ORS Rao sir, who really helped us a lot during this journey. It was like a dream come true for me when I received the PhD award. So if you could go back, why did I do PhD? Like I was in the industry pretty successful, but there was a point where I wanted to shift my career towards a knowledge-based industry. That time I was not so particular about I have to get into academics, but somewhere I have to get into a knowledge-based industry, not an action-oriented industry, because I was into sales. So the only path which I found was there's a path called academics. So I started applying for many institutes, but because I was in the industry, but they didn't give a lot of recognition for that application. So I just one fine day, because being an alumni of ICFI Bangalore, I'm actually a ICFI product of MBA, both for MBA as well as for PhD. So we got a mail that there is a special concession that ICFI is giving, that you will get a 50% refund. That's what they said. Okay. And we calculated yearly. That time ICFI was charging something around 80,000 rupees per year. So I calculated roughly I would end up spending some 3.2 lakhs. And I thought maybe end of the 4 year, let's give it a try. And the program that ICFA University was offering right now, it is also offering, it was quite flexible for the industry people. So I need not to give up my industry job, and yet I can also pursue my passion and get into academics as well as in research. So that was the idea. So I applied for it, and when I attended the interviews, cleared it, and there I got a good set of colleagues. And almost in the end of the 4th year, I think we were one among the very few faculties which we got awarded. And because after I have got registered, I got a call, and then I was able to shift my career from sales towards teaching. And people may not be preferring, okay, you took up a call to get into academics at a very early stage, but still I'm convinced with my decision and I'm happy about the decision. So that's what I would say, that I was successful because I was able to pursue my passion. So not in terms of designation or in terms of monetary gains, but the kind of work-life balance which I'm enjoying right now, which I was not having it when I was in sales. Yet I was successful. I got a best salesperson award and all, but it was a responsibility of India and Indian subcontinent, which was too much for me. And right now I'm also contributing into marketing and sales, but in another context altogether. So I got really married towards this academic and research profession. And you believe me or not, and when I was getting the PhD, and I have published almost 2 through 3 Scopus journals coming from an area which is nowhere related to academics. I think especially the guides, Runma ma'am and Swain sir and ORS Rao sir, and especially we had a privilege of external guide also called Branches Swain sir, which we had that policy of you can have these 2 guides, like one we call it as a research supervisor and the other one is a research guide. So that he also helped me a lot, and that was when I published the first Scopus. I was very happy, and that was also in ABDC. So that's how they started, and then I got into teaching profession. And right now I'm associated with Presidency University in Bangalore. I'm quite happy with the work what I'm doing right now. And I've also guided some research scholars, and almost 3 or 4 research scholars are under me who are doing PhD. So right now I would say that I have some 6 Scopus publications in unpaid journals. And I also look after, training of SPSS, AMOS, and I also take care of digital marketing share. So why I'm saying is there are a lot of people who have achieved greater roles than me, but whatever I wanted to contribute on the knowledge front, I'm happy that I'm actually into the path that I had chosen. Because otherwise, if I was in sales, my path would have been something different, which I do not wanted to go for, and that was a call which I took. And yes, Coming back to the refund amount, and when I was receiving the PhD award, and I actually forgot that there was a scheme called you can get a 50% refund. And I was quite convinced, okay, the amount of service, what we got it from the university, during when we were completing PhD, there was a line by line feedback, which I got it from different, I forgot the team actually, Pallavi ma'am and Rumna ma'am, line by line feedback, not, overall, okay, this line you didn't cite, this line, where is the reference? So I could make out that there are some 4 or 5 team who are actually into that research. That support I didn't get it in the second or third year. So what they did, first year there was a tremendous support in terms of coursework, and then they cut the umbilical cord. So then I was on my own, did something, and then when I was about to submit, they asked me to send chapter-wise chapter, or maybe every 50 pages. They just got a feedback. So I was quite convinced, okay, the amount what I paid, it was justified. And then I forgot. And then one fine mail, and I just contacted ICFI. Then they said that you have to contact ICFI Hyderabad. And you believe me or not, within a month, I got that entire 1.6 lakh back, which talks about ICFI University as a group. So that is something that they could have easily said that no, we have changed our policy, there is no more refund, and that policy is no more available. But the one mail which they had sent maybe during 2013, and that was there only for 2 years, and they honored it, especially ICFI Hyderabad group, and I was very happy with the commitment which they were able to fulfill. So today I wouldn't call me as myself to be a very successful person, but I'm into the right path, in the path of academics and the path of research, looking after marketing, digital marketing, and research areas. Being a trainer, I do also have some YouTube channels with some few subscribers and all those things. So I would say that the stepping stone started for me because of PhD in ICFI University, Jharkhand. Still, I am very much grateful to all those people who helped me a lot in terms of pursuing my passion. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And I don't have any specific suggestion. Only thing is that I would say that please make use of all the resources in whatever way that is available. So this COVID time, though we are separated at different parts of the place, we are there to help you out. I mean, I'm not from the industry where I cannot offer a placement, but if there is anything like, just lectures, any kind of seminars or workshops, I'm always there for ICFI University, Jharkhand. So in that way, I can help you in some way or other. And another one is that I like the previous research scholar. He has been, the previous alumni who has said that we can also have a postdoctoral program. And in fact, if it is there, I'm sure that I will be interested, because I know what kind of support that I would get it from ICFI as a group. So yeah, and one more thing, yeah, when I've got into like ICFI, I mean Presidency University, I just told that there was one, that time I got to know that there was one of my senior who gave a thesis, who gave a pre-submission talk. That time I was there, and his name was Professor Krishnamurthy sir. And when I applied for Presidency University, I just told it to the interview that, sir, I was there when you are presenting your PhD thesis, and I don't know whether he was able to remember me or not. I was able to remember him because the quality of the thesis was good. And unfortunately, he was the assistant dean. So he said, okay, come join the team, he said. Nothing. And then nothing, there was no, the interview was over. That's it. There was no more discussion. In fact, I told him, and he applied it on his in Presidency University, was one of the leading universities in Bangalore. So, and he actually belongs to Ramani sir batch. That's what he told me. But I don't know him, but I remember him presenting his thesis. And he asked me about his thesis, just to check my memory. I was able to tell him, sir, you are so-and-so. I couldn't name your name. That time he was with Alliance University. He was the HOD in School of Commerce in Alliance University. And I was able to recollect his thesis, and I was able to ask him, because that was the same question which I asked during that time. That time Swine sir was there, and you when ORS sir was the guide. He said, okay, no problem, just come and join. But what happened after I have joined, there was a competition where I have to shift to School of Commerce, not in School of Management. And now he is also trying, Amit, come here. So we are almost in the same university. So these are all six. I was somebody who was in industry, wanted to get into academics, and I think that I'm in the right platform. So I have a long way to go. So that's what I would like to thank ICFI for this.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amir Hussain. I think the person that you are referring to, I think, is Dr. Krishna Kumar.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You have the gray hair.
Yeah, Dr. Krishna Kumar. He is from the first batch, from the 2012 batch.
Right.
He did his PhD in finance in the capital markets.
Yeah.
So please convey.
I don't know whether sir is there or not, but if at all, if he is there. No, but one gentleman's agreement was neither he disclosed that he knows me and I disclosed that I know him. So it was purely based on merit basis. And he said that, okay, you perform well in the interview, but he asked only his thesis related questions. I got questions from other, just to check whether I was able to recollect it or not. Yes, I was able to defend it. Yeah.
No, so similarly, your vice chancellor or the professor pro vice chancellor, Buddhu Vinay.
Yes.
In fact, he is a good friend of mine, and he is also part of, he was part of the ICFI group. He was with IUD earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
But please convey my regards to him. And
great.
They are good friends.
Sure. Buddhu Vinay sir, I know him. Yeah. He's correct, sir. He just recently took up a role. Earlier, he was Presidency College. Now he just last year he joined with us. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amir Hussain. Now over to our MBA Section B category. Muhammad Hayat, Lieutenant Colonel, Indian Army. Muhammad Hayat.
So, yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, you are audible. Yes. Please kindly share your experience. Right.
Sir, firstly, thank you so much. I firstly extend my thanks to Professor Rao, Vice Chancellor, faculty of members, and the present alumni and the previous alumni who were our predecessors. I enrolled myself in MBA working professional, being myself serving in the regular Indian Army, and I'm being an Army officer, I cannot spare myself. However, my institution has been very great towards me and very supportive, and equally that was reciprocated by ICFI fraternity also in supporting me for enrolling myself into this program. When I enrolled myself, I was undergoing few questions in my mind whether I should enroll myself into an MBA, and if an MBA, then what kind of an MBA? Because primarily I have handled finances in my organization, I have handled operations, I have handled counterinsurgency, counterterrorism. I was also a part of international diplomatic relationships also. So overall, when I was looking for a program which will suit to my interest and in future it will help me in my professional upliftment, I was looking for a program of such nature. And honestly, so when I had shortlisted few universities, and of all the universities, ICFI was by far, it was at top based on the merits and all. That's why I was very sure that if I'm joining this university, it will be of good value. And as my previous both speakers have already mentioned, how much they have accomplished, they were already accomplished, and how much recognition they have got in their own fields, and they will continue to get so. So I enrolled myself in 2019-21. Fortunately and unfortunately, this COVID broke out. But despite the COVID broke out, the classes which were organized by our faculties, Dr. Vishal, Dr. Gautam, Rumna ma'am, they have been very, very good. And I must tell you, since I deal a lot of HR cases, human rights, human resources in my own organization. So the subjects they were being dealt with such kind of depth, that was more heart soothing, and I was more satisfied the way they were explaining the subjects. And because I could correlate, I was with 15 years of service as a class 1 gazetted officer. And moreover, parallelly, sir, I was doing defense and foreign affairs courses, which was from Takshila Institution of, which was based in Bangalore. It was just a certificate course. but hard to relate. And knowledge is knowledge, and when you have a broader horizon of knowledge, and so the entire society, if I have to link everything in a society, the country should have good administration, or any organization should have good administration. Their resources, be the equipment, be the resource, or human resource, be the resources, or the management, the kind of management and everything, it was falling into place. I was writing a lot of papers at the time. I keep writing for my organization. Unfortunately, I could not publish it outside the domain of my organization because of some professional restrictions. But definitely the knowledge which I have gained from this course and from the kind of university and their professionalism means a lot to me. Today, after completing my MBA, today in the division which I was there in Ranchi, I'm no more in Ranchi. I have left the station and I have moved on for my another assignment. Currently, I'm in Rajasthan and it is touching 50 degrees Celsius. And just to attend this, I had rushed from the ranges to attend this alumni meeting. And when I was in the ranges, it was very hot, but I could spare myself. I requested my colleagues that I need to go and attend because such is the kind of impact of ICFI I got there. And when I was in the convocation ceremony, I heard a lot of Professor Rao, but when I saw him, the kind of professional demeanor he has, it has really made a lot of impact on me in person, as a person. And if in case I have to start a second future career option, definitely this is in my mind, because we have a bond period of approximately 20 years. I have to serve the Indian Army, and post I serve, definitely I'm looking for may be corporate, but more towards the academics, because I heard my previous speaker, how good was he when he had enrolled himself into the PhD program, and now he is a faculty. That is a great part. Uh, so overall, I must say that the experience is wonderful. The faculty is wonderful. The fraternity is great, and my alma mater should reach all heights. Sky is the limit. And however, today I witnessed a great news of Indian Army. I shall be sharing you the news. I am not disclosing it today because of being classified in nature, but it was recently come, and I will be able to share it with my alumni group. I have few suggestions, definitely, since I belong from a fraternity which is very different from another sector, which demands very high moral, ethical values. And the defense and foreign affairs, it is very much an interlinked subject. And based on that, I have a small recommendation or a suggestion that if we can have a defense and a foreign affairs sort of a capsule, or at least a certificate course, because uh, that will be of great value. So this is what I personally feel. It will not only help to understand the international mechanics and the dynamics, because in the world of globalization, wherein we may have local political to an international political uh, view, but everything is interlinked and interconnected, which we can see in terms of the business, anything happening in Russia, Ukraine, uh, it impacts us. Anything happening in China, South China Sea, it impacts us, be it economy, be it any sort of industry. So this will give a better understanding of all the students who are passing from MBA of any nature, and from anywhere, to understand which industry they should be investing themselves into, and what is the forecast view the next 5 years, 10 years in hence. So they have a business understanding as well as a political understanding. Because I happen to be writing a paper, RPE, that is religion, politics, and economy. And when I started from a very rural rebel, and when I started to link all the cycles, I found it that it is very important that one subject that all the PhDs, or rather, we all are highly educated professionals over here. We all are in some corporates or in some PSU industries. We are there, so that will be of great values to them. And of course, the forthcoming resources, the forthcoming economic uh, ventures which is going to come up. Software, yes, of course, it is working out. But there are other segments which I personally feel, because of the biodig hazards and all these things happening. I was going through the memorabilia which uh, Dr. Subrato Dey had played few while back, waste management. So this waste management would definitely come to a very handy industry in times to come, because we are producing a lot of things, but the wastage which is being created, it is not getting recycled. As a result, I believe this is one industry which will come up in future, and I believe if the faculty can take a note of it, they will have a second. I would like to say the Atmanirbhar scheme which has come up, which is coming up. Based on that, there are many MSMEs which they are working upon. But especially, I would like to draw attention towards the defense sector, wherein Tata has also enrolled themselves, Kalyan University, and you must be aware that various systems which we are working upon, because India imports a lot of defense hardwares, and it is not there that our DRDO is also competent, but we need to have infrastructure of this nature. We need to have training of this nature, and this can be taken into our subject curriculum, which will have a lot of future. And that I'm telling everybody beforehand, because I was a guest lecturer in BIT Misra, Ranchi, few years back, and I had the opportunity of speaking to India head Morgan. And when I was discussing this issue, this was coming up very well. So these are few suggestions which I have, and definitely one humble request to all my alumni predecessors and present, and of course in future there will be a lot. Please connect ourselves with a bigger WhatsApp group, or Facebook, of course, because of my organizational restrictions. I cannot join on Facebook, Instagram, and but however, I am available. The fraternity has my mobile number. They can approach me anytime. And should I be of any assistance, I do write a lot. Uh, and especially I belong to Calcutta, I'm a Bengali, and I was born and brought up, uh, I was privileged to born and brought up at a place where Swami Vivekanandaji's house was just 3 minutes away, and I used to attend Upanishad every morning, every Sunday morning, and Gurudev Rabindranath Tagoreji's house just 5-7 minutes the distance. So I was really very, very fortunate in this aspect. And these universities, the great scholars, I used to listen to them. So it's very important to be a part of a greater fraternity, which is so rich, which is intellectually so rich, and they're so very powerful. And with this, I would stop. And before I finish, I would like to share for all of them. वैसे तो मैं लिखता बहुत हूँ. I write in various languages. Bengali has been my first language, but this is actually which is a common. कि परिंदों को आसमां मिलेगा, परिंदों को आसमां मिलेगा, ये उनके पंख बोलते हैं. परिंदों को आसमां मिलेगा, ये उनके पंख बोलते हैं. अक्सर जमाने में वही होते हैं कामयाब, अक्सर जमाने में वही होते हैं कामयाब जिनके हुनर बोलते हैं. So it's very true. People who are successful, they are very skilled, and only the people who have skill, they have knowledge, they will only rise. Right. And this is a great service which is being served by ICFI Jharkhand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much once again to my entire fraternity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was so nice of you. Whatever you write, if you can sort of send them through email, we'll publish. We'll be very happy to publish them, in the next issue, or otherwise also on our media. Yeah.
So it will be a matter of privilege for me, sir. I will be definitely sharing my writings with it. Should anybody be interested in co-sharing a paper, definitely this avenue is also open. I am moving for assignment. Of course, I keep it slightly classified, but you guys will understand it if I hint you towards our northern borders. I'm moving towards there. So I will have ample time, but however, I will be available, and it will be a great honor if I co-share some papers with
Sure. Your papers and your writings, you can share with us, for the benefit of the entire fraternity.
Yes, sir. Sure. I must thank you, sir, for the great endeavor and the social cause which you have taken, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amir Hussain, Dr. Muhammad Hayat. Now, your words matters a lot. Words of wisdom matters a lot, and we are in a bond. We are connected, and definitely we need your support in our future. Now, here is the time to release. Sir, whether you want to say something? Now, here is the time to release of quarterly IUJ alumni newsletter, Alumnest, what Honorable VC sir has said just a few time ago. Here's the time to release the quarterly IUJ alumni newsletter. May I request our technical team to please share the screen of alumni newsletter. Thank you so much. Now we will share the same in your email, as well as you can also like download from our IUJ alumni Google group where we will be sharing this. May I request, can you please mute? There is a disturbance. Can you please? Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you. Now we'll move forward. Here we will be listening to the technocrats. Miss Aarti Kumari, BCA 2019-22 batch. Miss Aarti Kumari, you can unmute and you can, with video, you can share your experience. Okay. Now, may I request our technical team to share the video of Vishal Singh from MCA 2017-19 batch.
Greetings to VC sir and respective faculties. I'm Vishal Singh from batch 14 to 17 and 17 to 19. I was fortunate to attend both the programs BC and MCA here. Currently, I'm working in Deloitte USA as a Salesforce analyst. I feel glad to be a part of this institution and it really helped me to grow as a person. I would really recommend ICFI and their professional program which truly helps me as an individual to find the space in this corporate world. Thank you ICFI and all the best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Vishal Singh from MCA 2017-19 batch has shared his experience. We will move on to the next is Mr. Nikhil Kumar Shanu, alumnus, BTech 2013 batch. Can you please share?
हेलो एवरीवन, मेरा नाम निखिल सानू है और मैं इक्फा यूनिवर्सिटी से 2011-15 बैच में बीटेक के मैकेनिकल ब्रांच से था और लकीली मेरा प्लेसमेंट कॉलेज कैंपस से हुआ था और मैं फर्स्ट स्टूडेंट था और प्रोफेसर ORS राव सर जो कि मुझे हेल्प किए थे मेरे इंटरेस्ट के फील्ड डिज़ाइन में इंटर्नशिप कराने के लिए, जो कि मैंने हैदराबाद के वामा इंडस्ट्रीज़ प्राइवेट लिमिटेड से किया था, जो कि मुझे फ्यूचर में बहुत ही ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल हुआ। और उसी के बदौलत मेरा जो है प्लेसमेंट नेटमैक्स टेक्नोलॉजीज़ प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, चंडीगढ़ की कंपनी थी जिसका ब्रांच पटना में था, वहाँ पे मेरा प्लेसमेंट हुआ। उसके बाद मैंने कैड सेंटर, जो कि एक डिज़ाइन ट्रेनिंग और सर्विस में जो है नंबर 1 कैड की कंपनी है, उसमें मैंने 1 साल जॉब किया। उसके बाद फिर मैंने 3 साल के बाद खुद का अपना एक स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट किया, जिसका नाम था कैड जोन डिज़ाइन ट्रेनिंग एंड सर्विस प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, जिसका मैं खुद डायरेक्टर हूँ। और अभी हम लोग की कंपनी का 4 ब्रांच बिहार, झारखंड में अवेलेबल है। और मैं अपने जूनियर्स को यही मैसेज देना चाहता हूँ कि कॉलेज टाइम में आप लोग अपने स्किल पे ज़्यादा फोकस कीजिए और कोशिश कीजिए कि जो आपका इंटर्नशिप होता है उसे बहुत ही सीरियसली करने का। वो आपको कमिंग टाइम में बहुत ही ज़्यादा आपको हेल्पफुल होने वाला है। और यदि किसी भी टाइप का आप लोगों को किसी स्टार्टअप को लेके कोई डाउट हो या कोई प्रॉब्लम हो, तो आप मुझसे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं और हमें आप लोगों का हेल्प करने में बहुत ही खुशी होगी। धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। वर्ड्स फ्रॉम निखिल कुमार शानू। जरूर जरूर आपका आवश्यकता है और भविष्य में जैसे स्टार्टअप जैसे जरूरत है, डेफिनेटली हम आपके पास अप्रोच करेंगे। रघुकुल रीत सदा चली, a dance performance from Mayuri Vijeta diploma 2016-19 batch are alumni. May I request our technical team to play the dance performance of Mayuri Vijeta 2016-19 batch are alumni.
रघुकुल रीत सदा चली आई, प्राण जाए पर वचन न जाई। रघुवर तेरी राह निहारे, रघुवर तेरी राह निहारे, सातों जन्म से सिया, घर मोरे परदेसिया, आओ पधारो पिया, घर मोरे परदेसिया, आओ पधारो पिया।
Here, after the dance performance by Mayuri Vijeta, we'll move to the next. Now may I request Dr. Vijaya Ganguly ma'am to please introduce the alumni committee cell. May I request Dr. Vijaya Ganguly ma'am? Ma'am, over to you, please.
Thank you, Dr. Subrata. Very good afternoon to our VC sir, our registrar sir, my dear colleagues, and not to leave out my nostalgic alumni. I think it's been years to see you, but we'll still continue to see you. We have revised our alumni committee a little bit, and along with, we are also happy to divulge some of the faculties named too, which, not to say the least, that we are enjoying this bondage together. This is a never-ending assimilation of future of our university, and hopefully this legacy will continue. We will continue to sail through all our edges. There will be crests, there will be troughs, no issues. But we have to have a strong bondage and a fragrance which will certainly emanate. Not to say the least, years pass by, we grow old and old. But how about staying young to address our university as a family member, which will have an infinite bondage, which will be uncompromised. So right now, we have the alumni cell, Dr. Akinchan Buddhadev, Sinha PhD, our alumni, Mr. Abhinav Sinha, Mr. Abhishek Roy, BTech 2013-17, Mr. Abhishek Tripathi, BCA, Mr. Chandan Kumar Ojha, Mr. Chandan Kumar Mahato, Diploma, Muhammad Hayat, we've listened to him, great personality indeed, Mr. Paramveer Singh Bajaj, Dr. Rupsha Roy, PhD, Ms. Rajni Bala, MBA 2014-16, Mr. Syed MD Hussain, BTech 2016-20, Mr. Shubham Kumar Sahni, BCA 13-16, Mr. Tushit Verma, and Mr. Vivek Kumar Singh. And as far as the faculties are concerned, we have also revised a little bit because we, the faculties, are also enjoying the same to work more relentlessly on this alumni cell. That is, we'll have the names right now. That is Dr. Preetha Chaturvedi. She's a torchbearer for us also. But and then secondly, of course, myself, Dr. Rumna Bhattacharya, Dr. Shudipta Majumdar, Professor Sumit Sinha, Dr. Abhay Kumar Sinha, Professor Amar Gupta, Professor Mithilesh Mishra, and last not the least, Professor Divya Utkarsh. Now, as far as our legacy is concerned and our connectivity is concerned, we are present across through different parts of the educational portal, agencies, and we definitely seek your support to rate our university and to also post in blogs and post some reviews. And the link, of course, the link will be shared right in the chat box. So we'll be really indebted if you do the same. Thank you. And over to Dr. Shubham.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Vijay Ganguly, for announcing the alumni committee itself. Now, moving ahead to our areas of association with different departments like placement, internship, business as well as career opportunities, social outreach. We are having panels. Let's initiate with placement category. In the placement category, in the panel, Dr. Varun Prakash, founder, Discover Spatial. Now, may I request Dr. Varun Prakash, you can unmute and open your video as well as you can share your valuable suggestion with us. Dr. Varun Prakash. Dr. Varun Prakash, whether my voice is reaching to you? We'll move on. Dr. Ravi Shankar, Administrative Officer, Jharkhand Urja Sancharan Nigam Limited. Dr. Ravi Shankar, Administrative Officer, Jharkhand Urja Sancharan Nigam Limited. Balakrishna Singh, Senior Advisory Technical Services Specialist, Indian Chamber of Commerce. Balakrishna Singh. I request Balakrishna Singh.
Hi, this is
Yes,
Balakrishna.
yes, yes, please. Please open your video so that we can see you, listen to you.
Thank you very much. So, thank you very much, respected Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor ORS, sir, respected Registrar, sir. Well, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to be the part of the alumni group of ICFA University. So I was a part of MBA WP batch 2019-21. And the time I joined, I was with a part of a government consultant with the Indian Chamber of Commerce. And after doing the MBA, that was a successful one. I really thank Dr. Barik sir, Dr. Manish Upadhyay sir, Dr. Sumit Sinha sir, Dr. Abhay sir, Rumna ma'am, and one more lecturer, Dr. Vishal, who is now not associated with ICFI. They have helped me a lot in enriching the technology aspect as well as the industrial aspects. Especially, I would like to thank Dr. Manish Upadhyay, Dr. Vishal, and Dr. Sumit Sinha. They have nurtured a lot, and they are still in the supporting part. I do remember when I shifted my career right from the government to the IT, which was not very easy path. But again, I just joined as I joined as a data analyst, and then in a year and a half in IBM, I got promoted a couple of times in a very short time, which is very rare to the rarest. I was appreciated by the client. Number of emails was appreciated. My couple of projects was published, and all those things was definitely the part of the ICFI learning what I received. And especially I was in touch, still I am in touch with Dr. Vishal, who still helps me because my part on the client side was the trading and supply for the oil and gas, where he helped me in the commodity side. Lots of analytical part that I have to do in the statistical arena, which still sometime I take help with Dr. Manish Upadhyay, who is a very good, who has a very fundamental knowledge towards on the mathematical and the statistical side and the probability side. I do take a help from him. And I keep on taking help because these all are the fundamentals where we keep on using in our day-to-day life, wherever we are. So the MBA base was very good. The curriculum that was provided by ICFA University, the syllabus and all, that was very fantastically prepared. And the faculties, they took a time, they don't bother to teach what time we are looking for, because we were a working professional and we were having a very limited time. So rather than coming from office and I you know we were the very notorious batch of the 2019-21. So and
I know that.
So RS Rao sir and Registrar sir have definitely come across lots and lots of challenges, with particularly for 19 and 21 batch, and that was a memorable time. And one side the student part and another side is the faculty's part, and but that was a memorable time. I still say that whenever we all students meet each other, and whenever the professors, we go ahead and talk to them, and still remember those all times were there. So I still remember. I mean, that's a good time, and that was the best time that I had after my college in MBA. So I'll not take much of the time, but only the thing is that, as per my thinking, success of any university is measured by the contribution of any alumni towards the society. The society can be anywhere, in the company, in the entrepreneurship, or anywhere. If they are growing, they are building their career, they are moving fast, that means the university is also moving very fantastically ahead. And I really respect ICFI and feel like again being a part of ICFI again towards the PhD program. Hope so. Nothing less, not this time, but next time. So this was a kind of a dream of and PhD is a kind of requirement, because I have moved to the senior advisory consulting in the technical part, and being a PhD degree in the data scientist arena, that adds a lots of value for me in towards the professional career as well as in my personal career as well. Well, thank you very much, sir. Well, thank you very much for giving an invitation on this. And personal request to each and every person that technology is just up and down. So don't worry on the technology. It keeps on coming. The major two things that's very important for any of the students, even I'm learning right today. One is the soft skill training, and the second is the aptitude skill training. These both are the very fundamentals things. If anybody has these both things, anybody can grow in their career in any go. So I have seen the people right from the mechanical background or the electrical background shifting to the CS. We have listened today, the gentleman who has done PhD right from the sales background moving to the educational background. So technology has never been a barrier. The barrier is your soft skill, how you present yourself, how you take forward yourself, how you build the presentation, how you portray. And one thing I remember, and I really appreciate Dr. Professor O.R.S. Rao, that the social networking is very important. So we miss that thing, but I believe that is very important, right, when you are in corporate or when you are entrepreneur, because if you are socially strong, you are going to go very far. So that's it from my side. Well, thank you very much. Thanks. I really appreciate to be part of ICFI Alumni. Thanks very much.
No, thanks a lot for your kind words and advice, Mr. Balakrishna Singh. From our side, we'll send across our program structures and some of the curriculum. As far as the IT programs are concerned, we request your help and sort of suggestions on how we can improve that. And you could also sort of give some suggestions to us with regard to any online programs that you recommend that we should launch in the area of the IT.
Thank you, sir. That's your modesty. Well, definitely, I really appreciate and take honor from myself.
Great.
Thank you, sir. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Bye, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we are all noting actually like all the suggestions which are coming. And thank you all of you for sparing your valuable time in Sunday. Really. And at the same time, we'll move to the next category is views on internship. In internship, we have Mr. Govind Yadav. He is General Manager, Jharkhand Urja Sancharan Nigam Limited. Govind Yadav. Govindji, please you unmute yourself and share your experience, views on internship. Mr. Govind Yadav, you can unmute and you can speak. Okay, maybe some internet connections missing. Mr.
Shubhrata sir.
Yes, Akinchan.
Sir. Yes, sir. I think Dr. Varun Prakash has rejoined, sir. If you think we can, his name was called, so he may also speak.
Sure. Dr. Varun Prakash, views on placement and your valuable suggestions are awaiting. We are waiting for that. The same. Mr. Varun Prakash. Yes, I can see you.
Good afternoon to you all. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible. Varun Prakash, Dr. Varun Prakash. Yes, please.
Good afternoon to Rao sir, honorable faculty members, and all the alumni invited today. It's an honor given to me to speak something on the university. I joined as a PhD scholar in 2018 and did my PhD under Rao sir, and on basically on technology and management. My topic was both from technology side also as well as management. And the support which I before that also I did a small research to do PhD from which university before joining actually PhD. So which university should I join, because taking on job and PhD is a quite a difficult task, and during the course of PhD also many of our batchmate, many of them left also. So it's a quite difficult task, and I would say the faculty members. That time, Swine sir was there, and Rao sir, my guide here at Gurgaon, Vipin Khurana sir, they guided me a lot, and because of their support, I completed my PhD. I have experience of around that time I was working with Reliance Energy. Now I am working with Government of Delhi as a technical head GIS. So now my roles and responsibilities is like I'm working with the Secretary IT, Government of Delhi, who are basically IAS officers. So for making policies and giving solutions, GIS solutions to the department, and whatever the government initiatives are there, in which GIS is there. So like now the one of the initiative of the government is PM Gati Shakti, infrastructure development program for the next 25 years. So I am actively involved in that also. And regarding the university, I have seen, evolving from 2013 to 2012. It's grown a lot. It's nice to see, the coming into ranking and starting new programs also. From my side, whatever I could have done that time also, I took few lectures on GIS and career guidance to the students on how they can enter this field, because it's a new field, and many of them are not aware of what is this field. And few of the IFI students also came to me to do internship when I was at Reliance, and later on they worked also with me for a few years, and some moved to government organization, and some are doing very good. They are excelling in the field in this technology. So now also I'm in contact with them. We are having good relations with them, and regarding my inputs, I will not suggest PhD programs. Sir, you can also think of, now we are offering PhD only in management. You can start thinking, because we are courses are offering in technology also, so we can also think of offering PhD in technology, because we have a good faculty there. So that can be also thought of in the area like mining is there, or maybe IT is there. So basically, there are many fields which are mingle of both IT and management. So that thing also could be done. And now also, sir, I think regarding the quality of student, which I would like to talk about, because at that time, 2013, it was initial years. And now the university has evolved a lot and had progressed a lot. In that 2013 also, initial years of engineering students, they came to us. And I would like to tell that they were very hardworking. When they used to work with me, and other people were there in the organization, they used to distinguish themselves. Like, and later on, they got absorbed also in the organization and worked also for 4 to 5 years. One of them, went for a course in ISRO, and after that, he is working with one of the startups. And in fact, the startup founder has, uh, has offered him some shares in the organization, and he's like a part of the organization. So he's still in touch with me, all those students. And last few years, since I'm working in a government organization, so here, we have to go through a lot of process. Uh, I think last month, Rao sir organized, workshop on GIS. But I will tell sir, I could not, participate, because sir, in government organization, I will tell you, you cannot go and speak anything in public. We have to take approvals, put up a file, then it will go to one officer, then my secretary will approve it, and then only we can do. We take a process, and then only we can do. When comparing with private, sir, we have a liberty a lot. we can do things, but in government organization, we have to strictly go by the rules and regulations. So that's what I could say about me, and of course, the commitment which I used to see in Rawsar in 2013 and now 2022, it's the same. And he is aggressively, goes in, uniting the alumni, organizing the meet, you know, and publishing new newsletters. So I really, appreciate the university and the Rawsar team and many of the students who were doing PhD that time. They have also, like my batchmates, they have also moved on a career like Akinchan is also is also our batchmate only. And we used to still now, we share a lot of memories of ICFI. So thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity. And yesterday also, Rumana ma'am contacted me that you have to be there. I'm sure, ma'am, I will be there because it's a Sunday, working day. It is not possible for us to join. So I told that to Gurna, I'm sure, ma'am, I will be joining. And thanks a lot to you all. Any help you require, sir, from my side, I am there. Or any of the alumni who is listening to me, my contact details and all are with the university, and I am there for that, sir. Of course, I now there are a lot of have to go by the policy regarding the recruitment and internship. But yes, sir. If anything, like I will try to contribute on the like alumni nest and any scholarly contribution I would also like to make. And thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Varun Prakash, for your suggestions as well as definitely we need your support regarding, as you said, like internship as well as placement. Sure, we will reach to you. Now coming to the next category, internship. Dr. Praveen Kumar is with us now, Senior Manager, Vyom Lab Private Limited. Views on internship. May I request Dr. Praveen Kumar, you can unmute and you can share your experience and you can share your views on internship. Over to Dr. Praveen Kumar.
Thanks, Subrato. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Rao sir, Barik sir, all the faculty members. Very good afternoon. Small correction, Vyom Labs was a pretty old organization where I was part of. I moved on couple of notches from there. Currently, I work for Hewlett Packard Enterprise in my global role where I manage telecom software business from a governance perspective, not really business perspective, but governance perspective. And that is where I look after close to 1,800 projects across 65 countries is my portfolio today. But I mean, that's the work part of the life. Coming primarily on the internship, this is the first time when students look at the reality of the knowledge which they have learned. This is the first platform where knowledge gets into a conversion path of knowledge to skill. And if students are with an open mind saying that, well, I know who I am, I know what my interests are, and I will look at developing my interest into abilities, mapping with my personality, mapping with my belief and value system, they can actually build a career. Now, getting a job, today's environment is not difficult. University will get you a job. But what university will not give you is a career. Because career is individual decision. Career is individuals' involvement into what they want to do. It is a journey. You will have to, as a student, you will have to decide, irrespective whether you are a fresher, you are a mid-career professional, you have worked for some year and then you have come to the campus to acquire furthermore knowledge in your respective subject areas. When it comes to internship, that is where whatever you have learned, that needs to get converted into the skill now. Can you acquire any ability? Yes, you can acquire any ability. Can you acquire all the abilities in the world? No, you cannot. And there comes the distillation process where you say that, okay, this is based on my interest. This is based on my value system. This is based on my some visionary state, some aspirational state. This is what I want to achieve. And that is where each of these internship programs are designed to give you a perspective of reality. If you are expecting your internship guide either from the college or from the companies to draw a path for you, they may or may not be able to, because they don't know you. Most important part is you, and it is your journey, it is your path. So you have to be little involved in whatever you are doing. If you think from a how should I build my career from an internship perspective, ask a question to yourself. Are you a part of problem? Are you part of a solution? Try to be part of a solution than be part of the problem. It is very easy today. I mean, if you look at it, is very easy to say that my company has not given me this, my university did not give me this, faculties are not good. I mean, I can go endlessly saying that, then I am part of the problem. If I am saying that, okay, my professor gave me some thought, can I go and see what knowledge is available where I don't have to spend money, just I go and learn. And then I come back to the class and ask more questions to my faculties. You are part of the solution. Industry looks at this same logic as part of the solution from a value system perspective. There are three concepts which we all need to know. Are you contributing to the gain, whatever gain your organization is looking at? Are you contributing to reducing the pain, whatever the pain organization may have? Operational challenges, cost pressures, market dynamics, these are various pain organizations face. You understand you are contributing to the gain or contributing to reduction of pain. And how are you making this sustainable? You have reduced the cost, you have reduced the challenges, but that challenge comes back again, then it is not sustainable. If you can play around with these three factors, you are there on the value path and you are able to create the value. This is something which is critical for each one of us, whether you have 1 year of experience when you start your job or you have 20 years of experience. If you are on the value path, if you are not on the value path, then it's a challenge. If you're on the value path, you will have a good time building your career. During this process of career building, which starts from the internship first phase, somewhere you keep in mind and with a very open mind to unlearn some of the things which you have learned. Because environment around you is changing and changing continuously. The way we used to learn in a classroom mode all along, COVID made it very clear that you have to have a mix of online learning versus offline learning. Today, whole lot of universities like Harvard and MIT, which otherwise you could not have reached there because of financial limitations or because of your family, other constraints, because of your capability maybe. Today, you can attend courses, you can learn from them through online. Technology is changing the way life is happening around us. There was a time when finding when you will have a heart attack, and people used to say this kind of astrology doesn't works in medical science. Thanks to artificial intelligence, it is possible today. As basic as eye scan, retina scan can tell you when your heart attack is going to happen. Imagine the way environment is changing. And if in that changing environment, if we cannot harmonize ourselves, then what we hear is noise. If there are a lot of words in a rhythm and synergy, it's a song. We enjoy that. Think of your career as a journey where you have to harmonize with a whole lot of things in your environment. Understand your environment, understand yourself, harmonize each of these components, and you will have a beautiful journey. And university will continue to contribute to it. within the campus, outside the campus. Like we have heard from people, I keep going back to my faculty for referring to something. Oh, we do that. As basic as after I completed my PhD, I have continuously got feedback from my guide Barik sir, who is there in the call, as how can I utilize this knowledge for further advancement of writing papers? How can I do what can I mean, continuously your faculties are not leaving you. Take it one step at a time. Think as another internship, another journey which you are going to define. And if you are able to define, you will have a happy life, successful life. I mean, that's my experience so far. And I wish the same for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, such a wonderful word, Dr. Praveen Kumar. And yes, we will rectify the present company, your present company, that will rectify 100%. And your valuable solution will definitely work out us. And at the same time, there are a lot of things we have noted regarding the opportunities. Yeah, request us. Somebody has. Please mute. Yes, thank you. Now we will move to the next category is business and career opportunities. In business and career opportunities, we have Ajita Dubey. Ajita Dubey is in Rai University, Ranchi. Dr. Ajita Dubey. I think Dr. Ajita Dubey is with us. Can you please unmute and open your video and share your experience? Yes, very good. Please proceed.
Am I audible, sir?
Very much. You are very much audible. Please.
So I am Ajita Dubey. I am alumnus of ICFI 2013 batch, PhD batch. Good afternoon to our respected VC sir, Rao sir. Good afternoon, our registrar sir, Dr. Sudipto sir, who was our guide, Dr. Umna ma'am, Dr. Rajkumar sir, Dr. Pritha ma'am, Sumit sir, Barik sir, Amar sir, Palvi ma'am, Avay sir, Rudna sir ma'am, and Gautam sir, and all the faculties. So I am connected one-to-one with all the faculties of the ICFI. So I am already an extended part of your family, sir. And I'm proud of that because I keep on interacting with the people in different part of the country. And when I say that I am from ICFI, I did my PhD, so everyone recognizes me very easily. Might be I did my graduation from Vinoba Bhave, and that is a government recognized university. So that might be coming in their mind. But when I say ICFI, it always comes in their mind and with a good image. So that is the strength of ICFI brand we have. So I think our students who are coming out of this university are ready for the market in terms of the brand association. Only they need to connect it with our skill, with their skill. So as I am supposed to speak on this career opportunity, so I will limit to that. So there is an updation. So I have recently I have started my own startup company in IoT field. So that is an updation. So I am now an entrepreneur, and we are working on one IoT product that is in the field of digital market only. As my large experience is in the area of distribution, sales, and that too in FMCG, telecom, and retail. So I will speak more on that only. And that these three sectors are very much relevant still for Bihar and Jharkhand and eastern part of the country. So even for small places, everybody is looking for distribution for the products, supply chain for the products. And these sectors, since last 20 years, I am finding these are very dynamic sectors. And there are a lot of job opportunities which are there. In fact, in these sectors, with the development of information technology and 4G and now 5G is coming, now every business, the companies who were in B2C sale has diverted to B2B sale. And the companies who were in B2B sale now is getting diverted to B2C. Now every organization, all big brands are trying to cater all kind of customers. It's not well in the end customers, they are moving to business customers also. Because modern trade has evolved, e-commerce business has evolved, and we have heard that 5G is coming. So again, that will be a big market for any IoT devices. So naturally, a new sector is coming up in a big way. So if we want to place our student of ICFI, I think the three basic skills which I found as a manager during my tenure in industry: communication ability, presentation, and computer skills. If these three basic skills are there, then they can appear for the interview. They can go through the interview. They can pass the interview easily, right? So that needs to be very much tuned. Second, sir, the challenges which I found while interacting with the students, that is there is a gap in the expectation. So setting the right expectation is very important, because when the student do the MBA, they always look for a very high package. Although if you go and check their skill level, that is not up to the mark. So that gap needs to be fulfilled either, or the expectation of the student should be set accordingly as per the market. Again, they should be always in mind that getting first job is not enough. So ultimately the career takes a long time. It might require 3-5 years more to get settled in some company, and in between they need to keep on learning the new skills. So in terms of telecom, if we talk about the Reliance Jio, Airtel, and Idea, Vodafone, so normally the people are getting freshers, people are recruited as JPM level, that is the part of store sales manager or assistant sales manager level, and the company take the freshers very easily. There are many sales promoter who normally works for a brand, specifically for the device brand inside the outlet. So that kind of job role is very much relevant for many brands. They take people freshers in the off-roll mode. So our students should not feel bad that this is an off-roll mode. It's ultimately the skill that will matter. Designation does not matter after a time. So designation depends on the company. They give the designation, but ultimately the job satisfaction comes. And when they start from the frontline job role, be it sales promoter or assistant geo sales manager, they start learning the selling skill. Because for B2B selling, ultimately you need to have a very refined selling skill. You must have the learning of presentation, understanding of technology, and you should have a good selling skill. And then you need to take care of your customers also. So these are the selling skills. In terms of job opportunity, the telecom people are recruiting the sales promoter in large numbers. They recruit the geo point manager or geo center manager, that is assistant store manager kind of role. Then supply chain is in demand. That is because all the telecom companies are now coming with all the devices. So telecom business is not the core business. Ultimately, the business is shifting to value-added business. That is with device selling, because that helps in retaining the customer, that helps in building the customer. So supply chain also the roles are coming. Then customer care executives. So two types of role are there. One is the frontline role and another is the backend role. So whosoever are not comfortable in moving to the market, they should opt for supply chain executive and customer care kind of role. They should try to learn those skills. Even if somebody is in the HR or IT, so even now the HR manager or executive has a role of that is very much focused to business only. So as a HR manager, HR executive also, they are doing the role of a business HR manager. So everybody is now concerned about the business only. So students should not feel bad even if they are getting opportunity of back-end role at a lower level. Try to learn those skills and then move into the higher level. So ultimate destination should be that after 5 years, they should be in managerial role and managing somebody, team of people. Right? Again, team skill is very much required, because when you are in frontline role, there are a lot of people to be managed, third party people which are supposed to be managed. So for that, you should have a good team skill. You need to learn how to work in a small group. So there the biggest the challenges, and there the productivity. That is the reason the productivity does not come or comes. So that can be the differentiator. Similarly, if we are coming to FMCG, still after in last 20-25 years, lot of technology has gone into the FMCG market also, but they are for running the business. They are providing the platform for running the business. The basic nature of the job has not changed. Still, the sales executive is getting recruited. Some are recruited on the payroll of either franchisee or CNFA or third-party payroll, but they are doing the job of a frontline sales executive for channel sales, or might be for the B2B business. And later on, they can be promoted as a sales manager like a role. Similarly, for marketing and communication executive, also there are frontline jobs which are available. And in FMCG also, the supply chain is very much there. The third sector is retail, which are recruiting large number of people. Now, retail is not just about B2C retail. Many B2B companies are coming up. Reliance Mart is coming big way. So store executives, floor executives, operation managers, supply chain executives, these kind of front load are coming. So from a job perspective, that too in our part of geography, I believe that still this FMCG, telecom and retail are big sectors for employment. And that can be targeted. Just students should have eagerness to get a job. They should show their eagerness in the interview that they require a job, because then normally they have very high tendency to get into a job and move out. So that creates a poor image about the institution also, about the student also. So that as a faculty, as a well-wishers, as a mentor, we should all guide our students and try to set the expectation right. Thank you, sir. This is all from my side. So I am already part of this extended family. I am available always on a phone call. So I cannot deny anybody if somebody calls me from ICFI. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ajita Dubey.
Yes.
It was like wonderful suggestions and a complete picture regarding career as well as business opportunities are there into the market. That too in the different segments like FMCG and corporate and all. That too like third party and all. You have explained so well. Thank you so much. Now we will move to the next category, that is social outreach, the last segment of our areas of association. In that, we are having with us Prakash Modak, entrepreneur, IndusInd Bank, and active members of Rotary Club. Now, may I request Prakash Modak, can you please switch on your camera and unmute yourself and say your views on social outreach?
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. First of
Prakash
all,
Modakji, can you please switch on your camera if possible?
Sir, actually, I'm at hospital, so I won't be able to switch on camera.
Okay. It's okay. Please carry.
Yes, sir. So, very good afternoon, all the faculties, Vice Chancellor, sir, Registrar, sir. I feel very good to be present over here. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Okay, so social outreach about myself. Currently, I am an assistant manager at IndusInd Bank. With that, I am district Rotary treasurer in RID Rotary International District 3250, and I am running my own business in the name of Prince. Okay, so topic given me today is social outreach. Social, am I audible to all?
Yes, you are audible. Please carry on.
Okay, sir. Okay. So social outreach is very essential. I am a member of Rotary since 2016, when I was a student of ICFI. I am the member of Rotary Club of Ranchi ICWI. And in respect of social outreach, like we do social activities and social work in the rural areas as well as urban areas to show to take out time for the ones who are not getting everything which they want to. Colleges like St. Xavier College is having one Rotary Club. XISS is also having Rotary Club. And Amity University, like many of the colleges are also having their own Rotary Clubs in our town, with which they are going with their own initiatives in rural areas and working on the respective, like giving free education, like I can say Rotary Club St. Xavier College has adopted one school at Tupudana, and they used to visit that school every weekends and on festival also. Like our club has adopted one Anath Ashram in Main Road. We used to visit over there. So this kind of social outreach is very necessary and important for everyone. Like the students over there are not getting educations which they require. So we can help out them with our own initiatives in nowadays. Like we can take out time for them for just 1 to 2 hours. This will increase our potential and their education level, because education is like the much we will share, the much we will gain. Okay. So these are the few things we can say that social outreach is very essential. Like you have to be visible in the market, and with all these activities you will be visible and you can reach the destination you want to reach. And I would like to suggest to my university that we can open a Rotary Club over there also, so that we can participate in many activities and many events which are being performed by our district, so that we can move over there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Prakash Modak, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
In fact, we are already a member of the Rotary, but
Yes,
I
sir.
think, for during this COVID or otherwise, in between, the activity level, as a part of the Rotary has not been much. So now I think, maybe definitely Dr. Subrato Day, he will connect up with you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
We have been working on, we have taken a scheme called the Vidyadan. And
Yes, sir.
we have adopted our neighboring village called the Similia. So they
Yes, sir.
have been doing a lot of activities. I think, Dr. Subrato Day will connect with you. And we can
Okay,
also
sir.
bring in a Rotaract into that. So I think
Okay, sir.
that will be a great initiative. And, maybe please help us in that,
Sure,
because,
sir. Always, sir. Always, sir.
yeah, I think Dr. Subrata will take on from there. All right. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much, Prakash Modak, entrepreneur. Now, definitely we will connect with you regarding the social outreach program and lot of things to do. Thank you so much for sparing your time, even though you are in hospital, but still you spoke. Thank you so much. Now, we'll move to our next alumni. Mr. Apurva Pramanik is with us, Service Request Coordinator, British Telecom. Mr. Apurva Pramanik, Service Request Coordinator. Are you there? Yes, Apurva. Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah, a very good afternoon to all of you. Respected Dr. O.R.S. Rao, Registrar Sir, and all my faculties. Basically, I have passed my university in 2020, and recently I'm working as a service request coordinator in British Telecom, basically in Gurugram. So you talk about the social outreach. Basically, in case of social services, if we talk about social, basically to meet their needs. Basically, these are the social services. And if we talk about the ICFA University, recently I have seen that they have organized some summer camps for the poor children, and they are obviously educating the rural peoples. And basically, they are very proactive during the COVID. They have distributed some blankets, they have distributed some medicines, and they have distributed some sanitizers. So it's a good initiative for the ICFA University, Ranchi. They have always a proactive member for these social activities. They have done some they have done some educating people, and they have meet their needs. Basically, when in 2019, I have seen that they have organized a camp in the rural area, and they have basically organized some social camps for the poor child. And nowadays I have seen that some of the children, they are the poor children, they are working in hotels, they have a dream for basic education. But these universities have made it possible for and they have taken initiatives for basically the poor children, for educating them, for making them dependable to meet at least the basic education. So in future, if they can organize some more social camp, so it can be a beneficiary for universities for their advertising. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a really wonderful suggestion. We'll surely connect with you regarding this. Now, I know time does not stop for anyone, and it takes a lot to take some time out of your busy schedule to be here, and for that, thank you so much. With this, we are coming up to the end of our today's Alumni Meet Anusmaran program. Before the conclusion, may I request our Registrar Sir, Professor Arvind Kumar Sir, for the formal vote of thanks. Over to Registrar Sir.
Thank you, Dr. Subrato De. Respected VC Sir, my dear colleagues, and my very dear alumni members. It was a very wonderful Sunday morning in which you all could find time to spend with us to exchange views, and for our junior alumnus, I think it was a very wonderful view sharing session from our very dear and respected PhD alumni. I think we all are greatly benefited, and I think in future we will have more such interactive sessions and more such programs in which our junior alumni can get benefited of the experiences and views from our senior alumni. Thank you very much, the technical team, and my dear colleagues who have done a very wonderful job, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Registrar Sir. I'd like to appreciate all the effort that is done by you for the development of our society. And thank you for justifying the years you spent by you in the institution. With this, I would also like to thank your active participation for today and making this event absolutely successful. And now, I'd like to request all of you to please switch on your camera for a group pic so that we can capture the same and keep in our memory as well as soul. Please, may I request all of you, please switch on the camera for the group picture, for the press and media too.
So, sir, we have taken.
Thank you so much, Amar sir. Thank you so much, technical team, for the same. And yes, a very good show for you all will surely make you feel nostalgic, and we will remember this the same. Thank you all for sparing your valuable time for the event. Alumni Meet Anusmaran 2022. Thank you so much. Curtain down.